Welcome back. It's the Morning Line with Nancy, and starting off our second segment of the show, or second conversation, is on African Integrity Awards holding in Dubai, and we have here who better than to discuss it than Chrys Anyanwu, the Executive Director, Mandela Legacy Centre for Leadership and Development. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right, Chrys, this is November 16th is the date, right, for these awards. Now, let's talk about what you do in your center.
Okay, that's okay. I represent an organization known as the Mandela Legacy Centre for Leadership and Development. It was founded pursuant to the need to uphold, the legacies of, Nelson Mandela, and also to provide, a robust platform for engagement and then solution finding on issues of governance, leadership, and development in Africa. We are also very passionate about seeing, a reasonable number of Africans taking the central seat on, decision-making tables of global institutions, world missions, and businesses around the world. So, in a nutshell, that's what we represent.
All right, issues of governance in Africa is one that is of importance, especially with the fact that for so many there's a lack of governance for most Nigerians because they can't really feel it. Now, how important, is it for us to recognize those who are doing their bit in trying to ensure that they improve the lots of Nigerians and generally Africans?
Yes, you are very, very right. You see, in the process of prosecuting this mandate, we've been involved in a whole lot of engagements and providing platform for state actors and, businessmen and even diplomatic leaders around the continent. And, while doing this, we've, noticed over time the abysmal lack of confidence, and in most cases a complete lack of it, on African businesses and businessmen. And that accounts for the reason why, when most Westerners want to come and do businesses here, they go to government. Government don't do business, individuals do. So there is this, and even among African countries themselves, if you look at the intra-African trade, is abysmally at 15% compared to the European 59% and Asian 51%. So these are some of the issues, and we think the reasons are not just far-fetched. Minus the issue of lack of proper information, there is also the issue of confidence. People don't trust
Made in Africa products.
Yes, an African product, and people don't trust what we do here. If you go to Aba, for instance, in Nigeria here, you'll be so amazed, But then when somebody wants to buy shoe, you prefer made in Italy, for instance. So there are, and minus that, okay, look at what is happening in Ghana today and South Africa. Africans chasing fellow Africans away from the market. So there are a lot of issues. So looking at this, don't forget, we're in the business of providing panaceas and workable solutions to issues of Africa. And we decided, come on, what do we do to bring down this? Because it's actually a very challenging one. There are people that are doing good businesses that can compare with any other big businesses outside Africa. And nobody is talking about them just because they are black. So we decided is high time Africa Business Integrity Award come, to sort out some of these things. And it's also, imperative to state here that the award itself is just like a signpost, that we bring people together in Dubai. There are a whole lot of other things lined up
for the day. Now the key most important question people will be asking us, it is captioned, it's titled Africa Integrity Awards. Why is it taking place in Dubai, not in Africa? That's the next question that we would want to know.
I was actually expecting that question. And
okay.
a lot of
Thank
people
God you're expecting it, so you have it now.
And a lot of people ask these questions a lot. You see, just like what the Bible said, you don't light a candle and put it under the bushel. We are celebrating Africa. Okay. We are talking about Africa here. We can't celebrate Africa in Africa. We have to take it to the world stage, where a lot of people we know and get to hear what we are talking about. And today, you will agree with me that Dubai is a hub.
Yes.
It's a hub. A lot of people troop into Dubai almost on daily basis. So, I mean, it's a narrative that we should take outside Africa. And again, Dubai also, to an extent, is a center because we are not just expecting Africans, we are also expecting other people from other parts of the world. So we think Dubai, is an adequate location for this event.
But don't you think some people will be of the thought that doing it in Africa as well will bring them in, thereby, because they will lodge, obviously they will eat African foods, they will buy from our restaurants, they will eat, the money gets to stay here. But don't you subscribe to that school of thought?
Well, I agree with you to an extent, but you also, you will agree with me in that, what we are talking about here is beyond the, in the income that we're coming in and all that is so insignificant to the major thing we want to achieve in this. We want to win confidence back to African businesses. We want to win integrity back. We want to win trust back to African business. That is a major thing for us here. And if we should lay this critical foundation, you can only imagine the things that we follow afterwards. So that is very key to us.
Okay, we are very pleased that Nancy Nadia, our presenter and executive producer of Moneyline with Nancy, has been honored with the Excellence Award in Business Reporting.
Exactly.
How was she evaluated? One would want to know.
Well, you agree with me that Nancy, has been one of the leading voice, in promoting, African brands, yes, and particularly Nigerian brand here. And we think she has done well over time. I am not part of the selection committee. There is a chairman, who heads the selection committee. They have their yardstick, but I basically believe, Money Show as a platform has actually deserve. I mean, they deserve this award. They've actually done well to deserve this award, especially there is a particular program of yours I watch a lot. You call it the funny business segment. The funny business segment. You never can tell how far that has gone in the society, and a whole lot of other aspects and flavors you bring into your programs. So I think you've done pretty well, and the platform needs to be encouraged. We
appreciate the recognition.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, moving away from the fact that you have taken the award to Dubai, even though you have your reasons, one want to find out what to expect, who and who, what are the arrangements, who and who the big guns.
Okay, at the risk of not trying to unveil the recipients and the nominees on your program, because I know most of them may not be comfortable with that, but I can tell you that a lot of big businesses that have done well. You see, credibility is what we can take to the bank. A lot of big businesses here that have passed the test of credibility, and I can tell you that for those businesses that have actually passed the test of credibility in this country, they can pass the test of credibility anywhere in the world. I think we have organizations like the Zenith Bank. I'm aware they are one of the nominees. Airtel Tanzania is one of the nominees. There are a whole lot of them. Let me not just, like I said, unveil this thing before time.
What are the other arrangements, to ensure that the event is a success? Any special arrangements that you
accommodation
and all that you need to let?
We are not a hospitality organization. We don't dabble into accommodations for people. But what we try to do is to make sure the location of the event. We actually took our time to choose those locations and all that. But I can tell you, we are expecting, a lot of experienced, and successful business people that have, in their own ways, have passed the test of integrity. People like, the Zimbabwe-born Strive Maseowa, Tony Elumelu, and the Chris Kurubi of Kenya, and all that. We're expecting all of them to also bring to bear their experiences, so that a lot of other business, men and entrepreneurs can get to also learn from them.
Quickly, talking about a lot of other businesses, are you also ensuring that the small SMEs, did you capture that? Exactly. Also, because that's how they can also be recognized and supported.
I can confidently tell you that, 50% of the nominees are drawn from the SMEs. We can't go far if we don't encourage our SMEs. So a lot of SMEs are part of, the nominations, and they'll be recognized during that award.
All right, Henry.
Yes, at this point, let's quickly take some of the trending tweets we've gotten from the program so far on the various issues that were raised. It's a good idea that Oyedele Emmanuel is talking about a new minimum wage. He said it's a good idea, though, if it is implemented. What is the fate of our economy will always remain that the new minimum wage should be increased. We also have the tweet coming on from the conversation we had earlier on the IMF subsidy, IMF reports as well. Coming from Amanju Egedele, he said, we don't even have a functioning excess crude. The excess crude from oil sales is being used for under recovery due to subsidy. The government is on the verge of swallowing itself. Too much government wahala is happening in Nigeria. And also on the political economy as well. The crisis of the state and politics have destroyed everything, including budget financing. They are using a chunk of our revenue to pay under recovery subsidy of 2.7 billion monthly. That's the coming from Amaju Ejedele. Thank you all for your tweets so far.
All right, final words from you, Chrys, because we have to wrap up, close the program.
I think we need to support our own. You know, we have to support our brands. We are doing well. Africa is the place right now. You know, we've completely moved away from Africa being, you know, one of the deficit and I mean, the conversation actually about Africa is shifting from deficit and you know, to opportunities, prospect, creativity and ventures. So you can see how everybody is struggling to, you know, to have a bite. So Africa is the place, and I want to encourage everybody, both governments and, you know, businesses, individuals, you know, to help in building this brand. It's something that we have to, you know, we must sustain. And, you know.
All right, thank you very much. We would have to put an end to it here. Like you said, there is actually a need for Africa to celebrate itself, especially with the fact that coming from the IMF World Bank meeting, like we said, you know, Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, and Angola has been, you know, encouraged or, you know, told to try and improve their economy so as to ensure that the whole continent is also uplifted. So definitely what
and
you
don't also forget that the fastest growing economies, among the 10 top fastest growing economies, is African countries.
That's true.
Yes, so we are getting it right.
All right, Chrys Anyanwu has joined us. Chrys Anyanwu is Executive Director of Mandela Legacy Centre for Leadership and Development, and we've been talking about the awards that will be coming in Dubai to actually honor Africans and the businesses, and also ensure that Africa, you know, is up there on the map. That's the much that we would be taking for today. That's the package. Thank you very much for investing your time with us. We'll do this again tomorrow. I am Ehizo J. Momo.
And I'm Henry Isumchi. The news is up next. See you tomorrow.
Hold on.